Hey guys, welcome back to another video of the Funnel Diagnostics series. In this video, I'll be analyzing an offer from Mani Vaya. I actually found his advertisement on my Facebook feed, and when I checked out his link, so this is the exact advertisement I have over here. And when I checked out the landing page, it obviously needed some improvements, and so I thought maybe let's use this landing page to create the next video of the series. And so the very first thing, as I have, obviously the headline could be better. The headline could be better. It says double your productivity instantly using this 9-second forcing function trigger. So get this success using this system. So that's the framework this headline is using. But again, it's so plain, right? Because nowadays, every other headline, every other marketing hook is written in this form. And so these kinds of headlines have lost their charm. They have to be, for today's audience, we have to target their pain points. We have to call out their pain points directly. We have to give something extremely interesting, extremely curious. And I do have a framework for inducing curiosity, which I'll explain in some time. And also, it must show relevance. It must show authority, like a lot of ingredients you should be adding into this headline to make it more appealing. So I do have an example of headline over here, which I'll show you how it could be framed for better reader retention. But before going over there, we'll just have a look at this landing page first. So there is a call to action. um, okay, and you're taking just the email. You could also take the name, but that's optional. Also, it could be framed better over here. Your image is quite small. You could use, guys, just spread out. You have space on the landing page. The space utilization of this landing page is not very well, not nicely done, I would say. Headline could be placed better because it's using 3 lines and it's not optimized for best use of space. So a bigger image, the call to action, and you could add because you have authority, right? You are a founder of 2000 books and focus block. You could add your accolades over here in the form of images. Okay, just like you have these uh, media houses over here, you could have them placed optimizing for best use of space. No willpower or discipline, no habits or routines, but these are placed very small. You could use all of this stuff in the headline because all of this is very important. This builds curiosity. So no willpower, discipline. This external forcing function trigger puts you in in the flow state in just 9 seconds. This is again a promise which you could use in the headline. So all of these things will help you build curiosity. So how do you build curiosity? Just let me quickly answer that question. So use contrasting element. So things that don't go together. Let's say God and science. These two things really don't go together for most part, and therefore if you use both these terms in a headline, it will create massive curiosity. So just a couple of videos ago, I created this one where I said your suffering is exactly as per God's plan, and that's verified by Harvard neuroscience, something like that. uh, People relate God with hope, with uh, being someone who takes care for people, right? So if you present it like your suffering is exactly as per God's plan, that's the first contrasting element that will drive insane curiosity in the reader. And then secondly, when you say that's verified by science, because what that's what science does, it verifies things. So if you say it's verified by science, again, it's a completely contrasting idea which you're presenting, and that will drive insane curiosity. Once you give this contrasting idea, which drives curiosity, then you back it up with authority. Back it up with authority, proof, basically trust. So here's viral headline framework. There is the attention banner, there is the headline, and there is the subheadline. The attention banner should call out ICP and call out ICP, call out pain point. This is the only job of the attention banner. Then the headline. This must strictly be curiosity driven. Like one curious, say just one curious thing, just like we saw with God and science. And the sub headline should build trust. You can build trust and promise. Promise is optional, but trust is the most important part. Okay. So this is the viral headline framework which I use to make very good headlines. Let's use the headline which I wrote for this landing page. So it goes like this. Do you also feel like it takes forever to do 15-minute task? Or are you frustrated wasting your whole day doing a 10-minute task? So you could use any one of these attention banners because it's about productivity, becoming more productive. It's applicable to every single person as long as they are a human, as long as they're reading it. So you don't have to call out specifically like working moms, stay-at-home moms, career professionals, or husbands, or students, whatever. So it's as long as you're a human, you are an ICP, at least for the sake of simplicity right now. So that's where the ICP is you, directly calling out the reader. And the pain is taking forever to do 15-minute task. This is the attention banner. And similarly, over here in this option number two, you again the ICP is you, and the pain point is frustration, wasting time doing simple tasks. So clearly calling out the ICP and the problem. Then follow it with a very curious statement, which is contrasting in nature. So it's like this. I discovered a hack that transforms me into a productivity workhorse in 9 seconds. So you see the contrasting thing over here is firstly, I take forever to do 15-minute tasks, like someone who can't get anything done. And on other side, the contrasting element is something that transforms me into a productivity workhorse, and that too in just 9 seconds. So it's completely curiosity driven. It's going to make the reader can't resist themselves but read the next line at least. And that's what the goal of every word in copy is, to get the person to read the next line. So the next line says it's even driving even more curiosity plus authority. And I deserve a Nobel Prize for it as per our community of 4,000 plus members. So, this is again building even more curiosity. Plus, it's adding elements of authority and trust because 4,000 plus members agree to this fact. So everything. So if you are if you are a person and you are taking forever to do simple tasks, let me show you how I transform myself into productivity workhorse is 9 seconds, and I deserve a Nobel Prize for it as per my community. So you are adding relevance, curiosity, trust. That's the whole goal of headline. It's relevance. How do you build relevance? You build relevance by speaking the pain. So you are a person and you have this pain. If I'm a reader, I'll say yes. So therefore, relevance is built. And when relevance is built, how do you get them to stay? You need something curiosity driven. So over here, you build curiosity as already written, curiosity driven. And then when they are curious, they want to know more. You also build authority for yourself so that they will trust you, whatever you say. Trust is the most important thing over here. So relevance, curiosity, and then authority. If you use this framework, you'll have viral headline and insanely converting landing pages. Anyways, let's get back. So I would say your headline is actually this long. You have spent almost 1/3 of your page on your headline, I would say, when it could be compressed and have similar, if not more impact than what you have right now. I would categorize all of this section into into one headline. Now, so you see how unoptimized this is for space, for using space. So when it could have been done in this much of space with a nice big image, because nowadays people are not patient. They skim through the landing pages. They don't even read a lot of things. So it's in our best interest and also in their best interest that you optimize the landing page for space, optimize the landing page for visual appearance, so that it has the greatest of impact, okay, on your conversions and even in their life when they sign up. So that's one thing. And over here, you're focusing on pain point. You know that feeling. You are in the zone, you are in the flow. You can often get 2, 3 hours of work done in a single hour, but instead of feeling drained, you feel energized. So you are giving a promise or showing the dream, imagining the dream. However, it's not easy to get in that flow because it's dependent on your own mental energy, which can be inconsistent motivation. Okay, so you could format this information better as I have over here. We'll quickly get to that. I like this image you have over here. You could create a graphic of yourself holding this page using AI, using Nano Banana, you can simply create an image of yourself, and you can create a image of yourself holding this sheet of paper with this graphical image that would give a visual hook to the reader, so they stay on your landing page. And then you have founder story about you over here, and in this masterclass, like basically what you get, and then watch the masterclass. This could be framed better for visual presentation. I will quickly get to that now, but this landing page is quite mediocre, honestly, and the headline looks like low effort to me when it's the most important part on the landing page. Majority of people who are coming to the landing page take decision based on the hook, based on the hero section itself. So it's very important we focus on the hero section. Even if we don't optimize rest of the landing page for conversion, the hero section is the most important part. So we already discussed in length about it. We also saw how we can present the hook and the headline. I do have a different alternative for curiosity. While I was thinking, I had another ideas. So I discovered a hack that transforms me into productivity workhorse in 9 seconds. That's one. Or you could use this idea. This is how I get shit done without forcing myself to change my habits or read 3 self-help book every day. So if you are not comfortable using shit, you also use I get this is how I get work done without forcing myself to change my habits or read 3 self-help book every day. So I got the idea from over here. No habits or routine change, no self-help or mindset stuff. So this is very gold mine information that you could use in your hook. So presenting it in this format will actually get the readers to continue on your page at least, or your bounce rate would be very high if your hooks are not clear. So your image, the headline, and again after that you should have 3 secrets. You have this section where you present your information. This is basically what you get. You have to lead with offer. As I said, people just want to get to the point, so you have to show them what they get. And the best way to do that is to present that information in a curious format. Just so basically consider this section as a list of 3 headlines, just like how we have it over here. 3 headlines that each communicate one secret we're going to teach in this masterclass. So let's say in this masterclass, I explain exactly what the external trigger is, exactly why it works, exactly how it works. So instead of writing it in this format, you could present some story around each of these questions. So instead of saying exactly why it works in just 9 seconds, you could say you really don't need to read self-help books if you want to get work done. You just need 9 seconds, and I'll show you how in the masterclass, something like that. So present it in the curious format. Again, use the format I explained over here for curiosity, and that is using 2 contrasting elements. You can use that idea to write these 3 statements. Use contrasting ideas and connect them on in a statement. So you have a curious statement and use that one each statement as a secret. Then after the secrets, after what you get, you focus on the transformation. The before versus after transformation. Before is where you focus on all the failures, how the reader spent hours and hours and hours of their time reading self-help books, going through podcasts, reading articles, and they just end up getting nothing in return. And after they attend the masterclass, they can get 100x more work done a day than they used to get done previously, and they just have to make one mindset shift using this 9 second forcing function. Just a simple mindset shift is what they need. So focus on that one single transformation using your forcing function that they must get when they attend the masterclass. So transformation, give the call to action, and then give your small founder story. I think you do have that founder story over here. Yes. My name is Mani Vaya, physicist and computer science engineer. I have figured out, etc., etc. Again, you need to have your image over here to build authority and your accolades. This is very important. Share your story over here, end it with a CTA. So if you format your landing page in this manner, that's when you get the highest return on your ad spend. Because yes, you can spend money on ads, Meta will get people on your landing page, but conversions are not guaranteed, right? But you can increase your chances of better conversion, of higher conversions when you make intentional changes on your landing page so that people are hooked. First of all, people trust you, and then people know it's relevant. If you can answer these three questions very clearly, you will get very good conversions on a landing page: relevance, curiosity, and trust. So that's all for this video. I hope you liked this analysis of Mani Vaya's masterclass opt-in page I have done right now. And if you guys have any comments, you can share them down. Thank you for watching. Bye.